after Dan Wilson took over as the interim skipper. He's not the interim anymore. He is the manager of the Seattle Mariners, and he's about to join us here on MLB Tonight. 21-13. They played at a higher level under Dan Wilson, and Dan is kind enough to join us right now on MLB Tonight live from the winter meetings. Dan, great to see you.
What's up, Danny?
How you doing, guys?
How are the winter meetings going for you now as a full-time manager? How's this experience like?
It's been different. I mean, this is my first one, so just getting a chance to come here and be around it, it's pretty exciting. This is a time of year where people are available in the baseball world, and to get everybody together and have some of the excitement that we did yesterday, and get a chance to see people from other teams. That's the great thing about baseball is you make these relationships and they go to different teams, but you get a chance to get reunited and stuff like this. And this has been it's been a blast.
What was your message when you took over? Close the doors, and what was your first message to the boys?
I think really the message was, we at the time we still had a chance to make the postseason, get to the playoffs. The division, the wild card was still in reach. And really the message that I brought was just and the whole staff brought was let's just get ready to go to battle at 7 o'clock every night. That's what we have to do. We have to get ourselves prepared mentally, physically, and at 7 o'clock it's all hands on deck, and we go all out, and we try to get on top, and with the pitching staff that we have, if we can get ourselves a lead, we're in really good shape, and the guys really did it, and they responded so well. Those are tough situations. You guys have been through them. When a manager gets fired, it's a really difficult. There's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of stuff behind that. But the way those guys responded, the way the staff responded, I couldn't have asked for a better group. And the guys came out and they did exactly that. They were resilient. We got knocked down several times.
Yeah, at the end.
But they were able to bounce back, and they fought hard to the end.
Danny, I love what you did, 21-13, obviously, but I love what you went a little old school. Edgar Martinez comes back in the dugout. Julio Rodriguez starts to go to that other level. And then this year, you're bringing Kevin Seitzer. I kind of love it. It's little old school baseball. What do you expect from Seitz? And, what did Edgar really bring to Julio last year?
Yeah, great question. I think that after I got the call, my first call was Edgar. And we had some offensive difficulties during the season. And so that was the first person that I thought of. And he was a guy that had been around the organization as well. So he had, existing relationships with a lot of the hitters. So it was a pretty easy fit. And the great thing about Edgar, we all got a chance to see him in his career, Hall of Fame career. But he's really a scientist of hitting. He's a student of hitting. He understands it. So the wisdom, the simplicity that Gar brought to hitting, I think really resonated with a lot of our guys, and really looking forward to having him back again this year, and continuing what he has brought to this club. Kevin Seitzer, Bobby Maggiano's coming over from Atlanta. Seitz, very similar message. I think it will be just an extension of Edgar's voice. These guys have played during the same era, using the whole field, using the middle of the field, keeping things simple, and that's what the message has been, and I look forward for both of those guys being able to bring and carry on that message that Gar brought.
Your starting rotation is an absolute joke. Honestly, the guy who jumps off the page for me watching you guys for $1.62 was Bryce Miller. He went from like 2-pitch mix to now like 12-pitch mix. I'm serious. He's unhittable, Case. And he's a little bit of a bully. My question to you is, can you speak on your pitching staff, and who's starting opening day with these monsters?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think the staff is really such a big part of what we do, and I got to give a lot of credit to the pitching department, the development of the pitchers that we've had. Most of our guys are homegrown, and these guys that come up through our system and do just such a great job, and they've gotten to the big leagues pretty quickly, but have been able to deliver in the big leagues, which is not easy to do as a young player. These guys have great stuff, like you mentioned. They have a great approach mentally, and they get after it. And having that is a huge luxury in this game today. And they get deep into ball games. They get six, a lot of times 6 innings. I think they led all of MLB in quality starts last year. So what more can you ask from a staff? And these guys just continue to do it night in, night out. Pete Woodworth, Trent Blank, these guys on the pitching, Tony Arnrich in the bullpen. These guys do such a great job preparing our staff, and it really is, from a manager's perspective, it really is a luxury sending every one of these guys out each night.
So it's Luis Castillo. Okay.
The same thing.
That's what I took from that.
Same
I don't
thing.
know.
Yeah. We don't make stuff up around here ever. I want to talk about, obviously, Danny, you were a great catcher. You had a great big league career behind the dish. I want to talk about the guy back there that's becoming one of the better catchers in the game, and obviously has got some big thump, the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. What do you think of his game? And are you up on the nuances of the new catching and all that stuff that's going on?
Absolutely. Well, how much time we got? We're going to start talking catching. I mean, here we go.
Catcher be here all day.
No, I mean, you talk about a luxury of the pitching staff, but having a guy like Cal Raleigh behind the plate is also a huge luxury. And congratulations to him on winning the Platinum this year. That's an incredible honor. And I think the thing that's impressive about Cal is we've seen what he can do. Throwing guys out, catching games, blocking balls, all the physical things that he does. But what he brings behind the plate mentally, and the amount that he plays. He wants to be in there every night, and for him to be able to catch 130 ball games in a season, that's a lot of baseball. And so he's coming in every single night, wants to be back there, wants to lead this pitching staff, and that's enough on a lot of people's plates. But then he gets into the batter's box as well, and he's able to deliver offensively, and hit 30 home runs this year, over 100 RBIs, an incredible season for Cal. So the sky's the limit for this kid, and the fact that he does it well and he does it a lot behind the plate, that's
good.
a great combination. Yes.
Well, unfortunately, Dan, we're out of time. I can only hear the words buy or sell from you on this. Julio Rodriguez will have a 40-40 season.
Oh, I'll buy that.
Okay, good. Dan Wilson, the manager of the Seattle Mariners. I think Julio's back. That's my prediction. Julio's bouncing back in a big way. He could be an MVP candidate this year for the Seattle Mariners. We're going to be in the playoffs. Dan Wilson's going to be the manager of it. Dan, thanks for the time, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Danny.